Elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has expressed its readiness to conduct the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo states, respectively. According to INEC, Acting Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Nkem, all the glitches experienced during the general elections earlier in the year had been taken care of by the Commission.
She said INEC has put a lot of plans in place to guarantee early deployment of sensitive materials to polling units, including ad hoc officers camping near polling units a day before the exercise, as against people moving from the local government headquarters to the various polling units on election day. Nkem added that the IGP has assured voters and stakeholders in the 3 states that adequate security will be made available to ensure safe and peaceful polls.
Now, joining us this morning to discuss and, of course, further highlight INEC's readiness for Saturday's poll is the Senior Information Officer, Voter Education and Publicity Department, INEC, Eniola Oladapo. Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right. Well, I mean, Bayelsa, Imo State, Kogi, we're having all of these on Saturday. Nigerians are still healing, I believe, from the 2023 elections earlier in the year. When INEC makes these statements, do you think anybody believes them when they say these things, about how they would ensure that things are put in place and, it's going to follow the rules of, voting and everybody should come out and vote? Do you think currently that everybody believes INEC?
Thank you very much. Election is a multi-stakeholder process in Nigeria. INEC alone does not conduct election. We have the political parties, we have civil society, we have security agencies, and then we have ad hoc staff that are all part of the electoral process. And so INEC on its part is always ready and making sure that everything that needs to be done is in place. As I speak to you, like my chairman mentioned some days ago, we are where we are supposed to be right now. Prior to this time, the notice of election has been issued, and there is a timetable for all activities building up to the the election day. Okay, so INEC has done its part and has continued to engage all stakeholders, the media, the security agencies, to ensure that this election is better than every other election that has been conducted.
Yeah, but here's the challenge, and that's why I asked the first question. So these things have been said before. I remember Festus Okoye promised. He made a lot of these statements, even on this platform, promising that everything was in place, INEC was ready, we're good to go. In fact, they should bring the election this morning, we're ready. But on election day, we still saw many polling units where INEC agents came many hours, after election was meant to start. People were still voting at 1 a.m. in some parts of Lagos. And of course, we remember what happened with the INEC servers and failure to upload presidential, results and some of all of that. And so that's the fear that I'm pointing out to you, that yes, you can say that INEC is ready, that INEC has put everything in place. Yes, other people have to also play their own part. But would you understand when Nigerians say we don't believe you and we don't trust you? Would you understand where that is coming from?
Well, citizens have the right to express dissatisfaction or their concerns about a process. But we from INEC are making this statement again. We are giving this reassurance to the public that it is going to be fine and good in the forthcoming election in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa State. I'm sure maybe you have the knowledge of the post-election review meetings that were held. Different stakeholders were at that meeting. I'm sure the media were also there. Observations were made, concerns were raised, and lessons were learned. INEC has come back home, and then we have sat down with these recommendations and observations, and we have made improvements to the different areas that were highlighted during the post-election review. And so all we can give to the public is our word, and because we have done all that we need to do at the moment. And then we are using the opportunity to call on all stakeholders to also play their part to ensure that the process is peaceful and is credible at the end of the day.
Okay, I mean, we're counting down to the elections, and in the event, we do hope for the best. In the event that things don't go as planned, do you think that this will be the final straw in determining Nigeria's hope in INEC?
Things will definitely go as planned.
Okay.
And there's nothing about final straw in the hope in INEC. Democracy is the system of government we practice in Nigeria. Democracy has come to stay. The country is not planning to petition democracy. And INEC in itself is not planning to renege on his commitment and the mandate given to it constitutionally granted mandate, to ensure that elections are free, fair, and credible in Nigeria.
All right.
I would like you to also share your thoughts on the allegations in Imo State that we just got off, the conversation with the Labour Party chairman in Imo State, alleging that there's, plans by the APC in the states to carry out collation of results, away from the polling units and maybe in secret areas, in the state. Can you share, if you've heard of those allegations, and of course, what your assurance is to the people of Imo State on Saturday?
Okay, I think I just heard a tip of that complaint by the Labour Party official right now. You see, election is a process. Every stage has been planned, every stage has been organized, and that is the reason why the commission requires that all political parties have agents and their representatives at all polling units. There is no plan. INEC cannot have any other plan to collate results at places other than the polling unit centers where the from EC 8A results are going to be announced, and every political party agent is going to have a copy of that result. The next stage, if I need to inform you, is to go to the ward level. At the ward collation center, all the polling unit agents are going to gather there. Every political party is going to have a representative at the ward level. And then all results are going to be collated at the ward level. From there, then all ward collation officers are going to proceed to the local government office, where the results are going to be collated at the local government office. So I have no idea, or there's no truth in this allegation that results are going to be collated elsewhere apart from these constitutionally recognized locations. So the public should have no fear, and then political parties should also do their part to ensure that their agents are duly represented at these polling units and ward collation office centers, so that they can have first-hand information.
On a final note, as quickly as possible, what tips would you share to voters who will be going out to the polls to be able to ensure that they make the best use of this opportunity to exercise their democracy and also to stay safe?
All right. I'll encourage all voters to go out there. Right now, there's only one leadership recruitment process in Nigeria, which is the electoral process. If we abandon the process, then our democracy will not grow. The responsibility is on all citizens in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi states to go out there, be confident of the process, cast their ballots, and then if they have the time, they can stay within 300 meters and wait till the results of their ballots are announced at their polling units. And then they should conduct themselves in the most peaceful manner and ensure that they also look out and not allow polling officials to be harassed and to be intimidated.
Has there been better training done now for ad hoc staff? Because I remember in the elections earlier this year, they were blamed. INEC said that the ad hoc staff, it to some extent failed, in the process. So has there been better training now, or are we bringing back the same people?
To the best of my knowledge, about 2 days ago, ad hoc staffs, those who are going to handle the beavers, were trained in the last 2 days. And as I speak to you today, after this meeting with you, I am also going for a meeting where some staff are also going to be trained on the handling of the beavers. So the commission has ramped up training, for all ad hoc staff, especially for those who are going to handle the beavers. And I'm sure that there will be an improvement from what we experienced in 2023.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We certainly do hope that the elections turn out for the best, that voters come out to vote en masse, and that at the end of the day, we can say the elections were free, fair, and credible. Do have a
Thank you
wonderful
very
day.
much.